We are live now. Okay, we're live. Hey, good morning. 5 a.m. message. Bubbles are live. Here she comes. Like clockwork. As soon as I say we're live, this cat comes at me. Come on, Bubs. Nobody wants to hear me call you. Maybe they do. I don't know. So today I want to talk about people vacation. Should have put some more description on there about documentation. So I got 3 things today to talk about people being out of the office, things you can do. We're gonna talk about that. I had my thing is my Eddie Fish calendar because we're gonna talk about do the calendar thing. So he looks like me, right? Little Eddie Fish. He said he wanted a little guppy, right? They call it the Eddie Fish calendar because we always leave the Eddie Fish picture when he was a little cutie and not a big old hockey player now that he is. Come on, Bubbles. What's going on? Give me this look. And then you're going to take out the camera. Come on. Come on. Okay, I quit. It's like trying to get people to transform. You keep telling them. They look at you like, yeah, I want to do it. And then like, let's do it. And they're like, well, I don't know if I want to do it right now. I do that too sometimes, though. I'll be honest with you. Do I really want to do everything right now? Not always. But you got to keep trying. If you don't try, you'll never get there. So anyway, the topic today. We are the 5 a.m. Mester Scrum Show. This is our 805th episode of the show. We do a live show, and then I share it out on podcasts. I'm probably going to do some, I said last week or the week before, I was going to do some practicing stuff, but I haven't done it for some new twist to the show. Oh, now we got a cat tail. See, she wants to be here. You going to say anything to the audience? No? She's just talkative sometimes. But what do we do with the show? I'm Greg Mester, Scrum Master and Agile Coach. And we talk about Agile and Scrum in practical ways and tactical ways so that you can deliver value without working crazy hours. Get home to family and friends. Take a vacation, maybe. It's part of our mission, get you home. And have some fun, right? So today, I want to talk about people going on vacation, being out. What do you do? Oh my God, the world comes to an end. I'm talking about 3 things, and actually I want to add a 4th thing about it, and what things you can do to help with that process. And the reason why it gets me, as I go through some basic steps from working remotely, working with teams all around the world, some thoughts on what you can do to help minimize that impact. And then my very next statement, what people say to me sometimes is like, I go, okay, so when can we meet on it? Well, we have 2 people out on vacation right now, so we can't really do any of this stuff right now. So the exact reason why I want them to learn this, which they haven't learned yet, is what they're stressing about now because there's people out of the office and they don't know what to do. So I think it's ironic, the irony in that statement where I'm talking about, oh, yeah, well, we got that figured. But then they say they can't do something because somebody's out of the office. I'm like, so you can't do something because someone's out of office. Well, how does that affect your code and what you're doing? Right? And they just look at me, crap, he got me. Greg snagged me. So that's one thing when you get the answer. Like if they say, well, we don't have time to do that because we're busy, because there's people out of the office. And then they say, well, there's the exact reason why you need to do this stuff, right? So I'm going to talk about 3 things, and then I'm going to add one more thing. I think if I can remember, my brain's kind of mushy. So 3 things I talk about to people. I talk about documentation, breaking down the work, and then cross-training, right? Because we always talk about having people learning how to do better things or other people's jobs. And say, well, they're not quite as good as so-and-so, but you know what? It's better than nothing. Because here's an example. Let's say you have a sprint that's 2 weeks long. And in the middle of the sprint, someone's working on something and they get sick. Not like that hasn't happened in the past 2 years, has it? Or they got a 10-day, quarantine at home or whatever, and they can't do something, right? So with that being said, do you wait another 2 weeks before your customer gets what they want? So now what was 2 weeks to give something to your customer is now a month? Do you think your customer's going to be very happy with you for very long? No. And it's funny. I got a lot of teams that people have family in foreign countries and all. And, I kind of like when they talk about going over there, it says, yeah, you're like a whole week in the air, right? Traveling. So really, they take a whole month off. So what? You don't deliver anything what that person used to do for a month? No, you can't do that. Your customer would never tolerate that. And that's why all these companies give people a lot of flack about going on vacation. Well, you can't take vacation. We got to get it. Well, then when they say that, that tells me they have their systems, their organization designed incorrectly, right? They're not designed in such a way that people can't take vacation. And they should be encouraged to take vacation. I know we're going on vacation rant, but one of the big things is like I have so many companies that go, well, they don't take vacation throughout the entire year because they're so busy. And then no one's there the month of December because everyone wants to use up their vacation before it evaporates, right? Which is kind of whacked here in the States, to be honest with you. So you're just trading one, not being able to do something throughout the year through getting nothing done at the end of the year, which is your fourth quarter returns and when your company needs to say how much more work money they made at the end because if they didn't make it through the year. I mean, it's kind of like you watch Tesla. They're like asking people to really push stuff out in the fourth quarter and so they can get their earnings reports that look really good. So it's like, so how does that make sense from an IT perspective? If the rest of the entire company is that way, but you're like all taking off at the same time and no one's there. But think about this. You're not there. However, the entire staff and the company and the factories are trying to get stuff out the door, production equipment, whatever. And you don't have a full staff to cover any production issues so they can maintain production and get their product out to market when they're trying to meet their fourth quarter earnings. How the hell does that make any sense whatsoever in the mental being of a corporation or a human being? It doesn't. So this is what we talk about. So there's three things. Documentation. So people need to be documenting, and this is what Scrum Masters need to make sure they emphasize. Document what they're doing every day. So if all of a sudden they do get sick or they're out, family emergency, going on vacation, whatever, even if it's planned well in advance, people know what you did so they can pick up the work. It's very important. People don't understand that. The other thing, the second thing, breaking the work down. So if all you have is one story that lasts an entire sprint, and that's all the work breakdown you have, how does anybody know where you really stopped in your process? Because a lot of teams have coding stuff, documentation, different things that other people can also pick up on. They can take pictures. They know the software. They can do screenshots. They can write documentation. There's nothing that prevents them from doing. It doesn't always have to be one person, right? And let's say you're getting ready to go on vacation next week and you're still in the middle of sprint. If you break down the work in a way that other people can also contribute to answering the story or delivering the value to the customer, then it just gets it done easier. There's less stuff, less stress for the person who's going on vacation to have to deal with and less stress for the team. So that's something to think about. So we got documentation, we got breaking the work down into smaller bites, tasks, subtasks, whatever you want to call them underneath the story so people know what's going on, breaking down large epics with lots of ands into multiple stories so more than one person can do it. And then right there. Oh, cross training, right? That's my favorite. Well, that person's the best person to do this job and they're really good at it and nobody else does it. And I always introduce when I do training programs, I go, it's okay. How many people here like to go on vacation? They all raise their hands. Okay. How many people here are the only person on their team that can do their job? And the ones that raise a hand, I go, you can't go on vacation because we can't stop the production or stop supporting the customer because you're on vacation, you're out, right? So because what if we need to do a database tweak? What if we need to do something in a UX? What do we need if we need to do some HTML? What do we got to need if we need some JavaScript? And there's only one person that's how to do that on the team. Well, you're not going to get anything done, right? So you're not going to deliver that. So it's good. They may not be the best at it, but it's good. Oh, you want to stretch and say hi? Here's Cheers. Cheers here. He's not awake yet. So that can be done. So we have some cross training on that. They may not be the best professional, the most efficient person to do it, but every once in a while you got to give them a story or a piece of story. Do some pair programming. It should be part of everything, right? And if you keep putting it off, I actually told one guy, no, you can't take vacation until you train the tester how to do what you were doing. What? Like, yeah, I've been asking you for freaking 3 months. We can't stop because you're not here. You need to show the other people what you do before you go on vacation. I've been asking you to do it for 3 months, and the people don't say, no, I'm not letting you go. I'm not letting you go on vacation. What do you mean? Because I've been asking you to do it for 3 months and you neglect it. You haven't done it. Right. So he busted his tail and he did it. He didn't like me, but it was the truth, right? Why should the team get punished or not be able to deliver for our customers because you didn't cross train your coworkers? Shouldn't. Sorry, it's fact. So those are the three things when we talk about this vacation and planning. So I wanted to share that with you. You got to get as Scrum Masters and Agile coaches, people in the habit of documenting. Don't be their mom. I'll do it for you. No, they have to do it, right? You can't document all the work. Plus, you don't know shit about coding. So how the hell is a Scrum Master going to code or write notes about what it is? And usually they don't even let the Scrum Masters have access to the code base, right? Only certain people have access. It's called restrictions. So people who don't know code shouldn't really be in the code base. Every once in a while they'll let me in, though. It's dangerous when they let me in because then I'll figure shit out and say, what the hell are you doing? Anyway, so you're documenting, breaking the work down to smaller bits so that people know how far you will progress to do the work you need to get done, and documenting every day what the work you got done, where you left off of. And then the last one is cross-training. Get other people to know what you do, to understand your code, just so there's not that they can have a standard code. Some places want, we need a standard format and everything's got to be the same so we can interchange. What you really need is somebody else that can read the format and kind of be consistent and understand the shape and the way things are coded anyhow. Because I'm gonna say this: if you hire contractor coders, they're only going to be there for a year or maybe more, maybe mostly year contracts, and they go off and do other things. So you're going to get new contractors to come and interpret the code. And if they don't write their code in such a way that other people can see it, you're screwed. So that's what I wanted to share with you about vacation and people being out because they are sick. This is flu season here in the northern hemisphere. I think flu season was earlier in the southern hemispheres. So people are going to get sick. They're going to go out, and you need to plan and you need to act accordingly. And when you put it off, I'm telling you, you're not being a very good Scrum Master, and you have to be a little pushy on it. Like share a story or get one story, reserve 5 points in a sprint to do this. It's not going to hurt. No one's going to know. No one's going to care. Just do it. And with that, I say happy scrumming. Go enjoy vacation. Make sure you prepare so your team can go. You can go on vacation, and keep pushing those teams to do those three things. If you do those three things in little Kaizen type bites, you'll be better off in the long run. With that, I say, hey, have a great day. Don't forget, everyone needs their little Eddie Fish calendars, right? I think it's the cutest picture. And I'll see you tomorrow. Have a great day and happy scrumming. See you. And bye.